Welcome back to Andersen Acres. Today we're diving into a topic that might make you squirm a little bit. Pinworms in your rabbits. I know it's not exactly glamorous, but if you keep rabbits, this is something you need to know about. And hey, we're all friends here, so we can talk about parasites without losing our lunch, right? Sure. We're farm people. We can do it. So what are pinworms? Well, pinworms are tiny intestinal parasites that live in the rabbit's large intestine. Okay? The species that affect rabbits is very specific. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. These little guys are actually pretty common in rabbits, and here's the kicker. Unless there's a major infestation, you probably won't even know they're there. For the most part, pinworms don't really cause obvious problems unless things get out of hand. But if the population booms, you might see small white worms around your rabbit's bum or in his droppings. Some rabbits will scratch or nibble at the area if it's itchy, and in some severe cases, you might notice weight loss, a rough coat. Most of the time, they're sneaky and symptom-free. Okay? So most of the time, you're not going to notice anything. It's only during flare-ups that you're going to see something. Now, the life cycle of a pinworm is frustrating as heck for rabbit owners. Why? Well, mostly because rabbits can reinfect themselves over and over and over again because of a normal behavior that rabbits have. It's eating their own poop. This is how they recycle nutrients, but unfortunately, it's also how you recycle pinworms. So, I have a cat under me. So this is a problem. Okay, the pinworm eggs end up getting re-ingested and the pinworms hatch all over again, and it's a never-ending cycle. Eggs can also contaminate bedding and food and water, and they can survive in the environment for weeks. Hi, tequila. That's tequila's tail. If you suspect pinworms, you can sometimes spot them for yourself, like I said. But the most reliable thing you can do is take a stool sample to your vet. They'll do a fecal exam and look for eggs and the adult worms. This is especially worth doing if you have a lot of rabbits in close quarters because the parasite can spread really quickly through the entire group. It can start with one, end with all of them. So the good news is pinworms in rabbits are usually pretty easy to treat. Piperazine is the go-to dewormer. I know I said it wrong. It's fine. But you can... Excuse me. So, piperazine is the go-to. You can use ivermectin. Ivermectin's a little bit better on roundworms than pinworms, but it'll still work on pinworms, so use what you've got. You can also use fenbendazole. To an extent, any one of them can work. Ask your vet which one is recommended in your area. I generally prefer piperazine. I'm hitting my mic. Sorry. But use whatever your vet recommends, okay? Whatever treatment you use, it's really important to treat all rabbits in the same area at the same time. Otherwise, the rabbits that were untreated are going to pick up the worms from the treated rabbit, and it's just going to not stop. And then you're going to stop treating the rabbit that you treated because you think it's all better, but then these other rabbits have it, and it's just going to keep coming back, and it's just going to travel through everybody in sequence, and you're going to lose your dang mind. So, treat everybody. This is one of those things that even if only one or two rabbits have it, you're going to treat the entire host. Okay? All the bunnies. Yes, these are babies in the background. All the bunnies you're going to treat. Big ones, little ones, treat them all. So, hygiene matters in preventing these guys, okay? Because you can use the best dewormer in the world, but if you don't tackle the environment, it's going to come back. So after you're done treating everybody, and everyone has been cleared, and you're finally getting to rest, you're going to have to deal with the cause of the problem, okay? That's because pinworm eggs can live for weeks outside the body. Literal weeks. Like forever. Okay? The rabbits naturally are just going to put anything in their mouths. So if you don't clean up, you've got to scour all the bedding. You've got to clean all the pens. You've got to clean all the food and water dishes. Consider moving your rabbits to a different area just so that you don't have to deal with it. Because seriously, it's annoying. It just blah, 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 blah. No. So get it all cleaned up. So while you're treating for the pinworms, while you're already treating, replace the bedding daily, okay? Every day. Wash your food bowls, your water bowls, your litter boxes, all of that stuff in hot soapy water, rinse well, and let dry in the sun. The sun helps kill things. Disinfect cage surfaces and let everything dry before putting rabbits back in. You want to sweep or vacuum up loose hay and droppings so eggs don't have a chance to linger and eventually get consumed and hatch. Okay? But here's the thing I really want to emphasize above treatment is prevention. If you keep on top of hygiene, pinworms have a harder time gaining a foothold. Doesn't mean they'll never happen. It means you have a better chance of heading them off when they do happen. You have a better chance of less frequent outbreaks. You have a better chance of just being able to take care of it and not have to deal with it again for a while, at least a while. Okay, so you want to do daily spot cleanings and a full deep clean once a week. I know it's a lot of work. They're worth it. You want to keep your food and water dishes elevated so they're not sitting where droppings can fall in. You want to quarantine new rabbits for 2 to 4 weeks before adding them to your herd. I do 30 feet for 30 days, but 2 to 4 weeks at a minimum, because then you can get a fecal check done during that time and find out if that rabbit's carrying pinworms. You want to avoid overcrowding, because the closer rabbits are together, the easier parasites spread. So if you have a pen that's only designed for 4 rabbits, don't stick 10 in there. You want to keep stress to a minimum, because a stressed rabbit's immune system is less effective, and that opens the door to all sorts of problems, not just pinworms, everything. And if you see worms, or if your rabbit's condition changes, like they're losing weight, they have a rough coat, they seem off, it's worth getting them checked out. You might want to call your vet, especially if you stand to lose a lot of rabbits very quickly, if you need to protect your investment, because for a lot of people, they're livestock, and that livestock's worth money. For a lot of people, they're pets. And if they're pets, they're definitely worth taking to the vet. Even though pinworms are generally harmless in smaller amounts, it's going to become an issue if allowed to run unchecked. Please don't knock things over, Vodka. Vodka's wet and he just shook. It's lovely. It really is lovely. The joys of livestock guardian dogs. Okay, so yeah, treat as soon as you can. Keep things clean to avoid having to treat in the first place. And you want to make sure that if you do have an outbreak, you get treatment as soon as possible and call your vet if necessary, just so that you don't have to worry about it constantly coming back, because it's irritating. Now, pinworms might sound like a horror movie for your rabbits, but with the right knowledge, treatment, and prevention, they're just another bump in the road of rabbit keeping. Keep their living area clean, treat them promptly if you do find worms, and remember, the best parasite control will forever and for always be good hygiene. Now, that's about it for me here today at Andersen Acres. Have you ever dealt with pinworms in your rabbits? If so, what has worked best for you? I would love to hear your tips and tricks in the comments. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and we'll see you tomorrow.